I swear to God, I am never going to the ER again. At least not that one. Fuck.
Dirty homeless scrub. Dirty homeless scrub. Life in hell for a dirty homeless scrub. Dirty homeless scrub. Dirty homeless scrub. Life in hell for this dirty homeless scrub. Dirty homeless scrub. Dirty homeless scrub. Life in hell for a dirty scrub.
Man, I had to go to the ER today because of my previous video. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and go watch it now and then come back to this one so you understand. But I went to the ER because the medication that was on hold for pre-approval was denied. Medicaid doesn't want me to heal my anus. I don't get it. So I woke up this morning and I was on the crapper a lot. I was able to pass some stool, but I was screaming to the point where firm audits had to ask if I wanted an ambulance called. He's like, dude, you need an ambulance? I said, I don't know. Who does number 2 work for? And like, man. So I quickly got out of there and went to the ER. He drove me. Sorry. And oh my God. We got there like, I don't know, between 12 and 1. Fucking, I walk in there and there's like 8 people in there with me. On a Sunday. Around noonish. There was already 8 people in there. Okay, it's to be expected. It's an ER. It's in the bigger part of the county. Okay, I get it. And it was the same company that I've been dealing with, you know, for all this medical stuff. So, like, they already have my file. That's why I went there. And so, I signed in and sat down in the waiting room. I grabbed a mask. Yes, I wore a mask because my immune system is shit. So I grabbed the mask off their counter, put it on, sat in the waiting room. There was only 2 other people with the mask, and a couple of the other ones were coughing, hacking, puking. And I'm sitting there for like an hour, 2 hours. And then they finally take me to triage. And well, it could have gone a lot better if the nurse, like, understood English better. No offense. You know, that's fine. They need, you know, bilingual nurses. But at least make sure she understands English completely. That didn't go too well because I had to repeat myself multiple times as I'm clenching my cheeks sitting in the seat. Because, oh my God, I had to rush to the bathroom 7 or 8 times during this visit. And so, okay, she got my information half-ass. And then they go and sit me back in the waiting room. Are you kidding me? Okay, fine. This time it was only about like 30 minutes before they brought me in to take some blood. They put an IV in, I should say. They put an IV in, and it sat there and sat there. But it was the bendable kind. Okay. Then they started putting these little sticker thingies on me. You see them? These sticker thingies? You see them? These sticker thingies? Because they did an EKG. Why did they do an EKG? I don't know, but they did it. Okay. And then, after they drew the blood, they left the IV in. Like, the whole needle and the tubing, they just taped it on there, capped it off, and sent me back into the freaking waiting room with all the sick people. Now I have an open wound. Well, it was protected. They had that little tape thing over it. But still, it's like, then they sent me back into the waiting room. Half hour goes by. 45 minutes go by. I go up to the nurse at the station. I'm like, excuse me. I'm like, is there somewhere else I could sit? She's like, why? What's wrong? I'm like, well, my immune system is shit. I've had radiation from my cancer. And there's people hacking up and puking. And I don't want to get sick. And she's like, okay. So she brought me back into the room that they did, hooked me up with this and these things. And I sat there for a while. And a while. Then they're like, oh, we need a urine sample. I'm like, are you kidding me? At this point, okay, I've been at the hospital now for a few hours. So it's probably like maybe 4. Because I got there at noonish. Okay, and I've been going to the bathroom multiple times. And for some reason, my body is acting so weird that when I try to shit, even though it's just blood and mucus coming out, I also have to urinate. So I'm pissing just very little bit. It's a little bit, but it burns, and it's like, it looks like fucking Samuel Adams beer and shit. And they wanted a urine sample. So I go and I'm like, okay, I do feel a little pressure. I do feel like okay, I'll do it. And it was just like barely enough to touch the meter. Or that little thing in the cup, the dipstick. And so then I did that, and I went and sat back down in my single room chair. And I overhear them saying that they said my name, that this person's urinalysis couldn't be complete because there wasn't enough sample. I overheard that. So by now, I'm already getting fed up. I'm already getting irritated. I'm already getting pissed off that it's taken so long. I'm already getting like, I'm sore and nobody doesn't give it. Well, they do care, but it's just like, God damn it. So I'm like, So when I heard that, I said aloud, I'm like, are you kidding me? I've been pissing all fucking day. And so how long is this going to take? But I don't know if they heard me because they didn't comment on it. And then, okay, finally, they brought me into another room with a bed on it, right? Because I'm about to see somebody. Like the doctor or something. So they put me in there, and they put the other heart monitors, the big circle things. They put them on me. And the lady's like, how long have you had heart complications? I'm like, never? What? That confused the shit out of me. I'm like, what are these people talking about? I'm like, what did that triage lady write down? So I'm like, never? But they still put me on the machine. So I hear boop, boop, for the next 4 fucking hours. Boop, boop. Boop. Are you kidding me? Why do I have this on? So when the doctor finally comes in, he didn't get the full story. All he got was rectal bleeding. That's all he got. But that's not all I said. I told the triage lady everything in my previous video. Everything. Apparently, she didn't write everything down. Because, that's right, I'm sorry, I gotta backtrack. Before I saw the doctor, I had to go for another CT scan. She's like, a nurse came in, she's like, we need to go take you for a CT scan. We need to give contrast. She's like, are you okay with contrast? I'm like, I've done it before. I'm like, but I really don't understand why. She's like, we're going to take a scan of your stomach. And I'm like, my stomach? She's like, what? I'm like, my stomach has nothing to do with why I'm here. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm here because my radiation treatments for my rectal cancer has some very nasty side effects. As I'm in getting scanned, like right before I lay on the table. She's like, well, you don't have to do these scans if you don't want to. I said, I'm already here. Fuck it, scan me up. So back to the doctor, when he said that, or he thought that it was my stomach, I had to explain to him the same thing. Rectal radiation side effects. I pretty much told him, my body's falsely thinking I'm going to the bathroom or I need to, and it's the symptoms of proctitis. And I said that bluntly to him. I have all the symptoms of proctitis, and did you not even see anything in the paperwork about my extremely swollen internal hemorrhoids? He's like, huh? I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So at this point, it's like 7 o'clock at night. Because I'm watching YouTube waiting for his ass, so I know it's about 7. Okay, so I'm like, what the I'm like, I've been here 7 hours and the doctor doesn't even know why I'm here. So I went to explain to him, and then he went and checked my scans and everything, right? He checked all the test results, the blood work, the heart check, and the CT scan, and he comes back in. He's like, do you mind if I check your hemorrhoids? I'm like, I get to moon you? I didn't say that. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I'm here for you to figure out what's wrong with me. So I lay on my side. He's like, well, he had gloves on. He's just like, I don't see any hemorrhoids. I'm like, that's because I'm not pushing. He's like, what? I'm like, they prolapse when I push. And I'm not even doing the pushing. My body's doing it on its own. He's like, oh. And he leaves the room for like another half hour. Comes back. He's like, you got colitis. Which is pretty much proctitis. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Are you kidding me? It's exactly what I said. The only difference is it's like, okay, I could be wrong. Proctitis is just pretty much the rectum, but colitis is like more of the colon. So I was right, but not fully. And it turns out there's a bunch more stuff too that is wrong with me. Where's the paper? Where is it? Where is it? Ha! Found it. Okay. Reason for visiting my diagnosis. It says colitis, hypokalemia, which is pretty much low potassium. I need to eat more bananas. And also, I was way dehydrated. I'm like, no shit. No kidding. I haven't had a single thing to sip today at all. And I pissed like 12 times. Yeah, I think I'm dehydrated. And they wouldn't let me have anything to drink. They gave me a few pieces of ice. It's like, what does it have to do with my anus? With my rectum? Nothing. And at the end, the doctor just took my word for it. And then looked at the scans and said, yeah, you're right. Are you kidding me? I went through all those tests for him just to listen to me. They did an ABO RH confirmation testing, ABO RH, antibody screens, CBC with auto differential, comprehensive metabolic panel, differential auto, something occult blood, fecal, make all this shit, dude. Urinalysis. the doctor wanted me to do a stool sample. I started laughing. I'm like, "You're funny, doc." He's like, "Why?" He's like, I've used your washrooms here so many times today, and not one piece of stool came out. And you want me to give you a stool sample? Am I going to be here overnight? He's like, "Well, do you want me to get?" No. I'm like, all that is ever gonna come out is gonna be bloody mucus. So I had to go shit in a little plastic bucket just for him to see my. When I did the urine and stool samples, I was in so much pain fucking doing it, right? And then when I got back, they sat in the room with me for the next however long, like an hour or so. And they didn't even test them. The doctor came in, looked at my bloody mucus, and was like, yeah, you're right. But on a good note, I did get some prescriptions. I got 3 more prescriptions. One I have to take by mouth 2 times a day for 10 days. Another one I got to take by mouth 2 times a day for 5 days. Another one I got to take 3 times a day for 10 days by mouth. That's on top of these 2 for my GERD. So that's 5 before I even start my chemo. I've never been one for taking pills. Ever. Usually it's just like, the over-the-counter headache pills or toothache pills. That's all I usually ever take. I've always been against it. But now, I'm up to 5. Fuck. I'm never going back to an ER. I didn't leave until 9, 8. I was there all day just to be told I was right. Here's some meds. You okay, Lotus? But anyhow, I'm done here. This is long enough. Let me get out your face. Peace out.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life, but I'll make it alright. Yeah, I'll be fine. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life, but I'll make it alright. 'Cause